Hey, good to see you. So you're interested in the tax overages business. How does that work? Well, I made some notes here, so I'm going to share a lot with you today. It's really great on the tax foreclosure overages business. So what is this business? It's the business of helping people who've lost a home to tax foreclosure, meaning they didn't pay their taxes for 3 or 4 years, probably because they fell on very hard times. Could be medical bills, could be loss of a partner, could be an illness, could be an injury. It's things like that. Anyway, they lost their house. And an overage is when money is left over from the sale of that house. So I may ask, well, how does money get left over? How does that happen? If you only owe 3 to 4 years worth of real estate taxes, even with penalties and interest, that's probably going to add up to about 15% of the value of the house. So if you had a $400,000 house, if you don't pay your taxes for 4 years, you're probably talking about a $60,000 to $70,000 tax bill in total, which if you're the person that owes it can be completely overwhelming and you can't do anything about it. But when the property sells at the foreclosure auction, it's probably going to sell for about 70 to 80% of its value as is. So let's say you take that $400,000 house, it sells for 70% of its value, sells for $280,000, for example. Well, if you sell the house for $280,000, but you only owed $60,000 in taxes, that means there's $220,000 that needs to be accounted for and needs an owner. So the owner is not, as you might first think, it's not just the government who sold the house, because those tax foreclosure sales are held by the government. It's not the government's money. It belongs to the former owner. Now, why is that? Because it really represents the equity in their house. Sure, the government forced the sale of the house. They did. The government collected the money from that sale from a bidder. So they collect the $280,000. But the government just needs $60,000 to repay itself for the unpaid taxes. You know, they paid the school taxes, the county, the municipal, the borough taxes, all that gets paid. But that extra money that's left over is eligibly claimed by a couple of parties. One is the former owner. A second is a mortgage company if they have an active unpaid mortgage on the property. And third is any creditor that has a judgment against the former owner. So all those are eligibly paid. I can tell you that most of the money is never claimed by anybody. Most of them are not going to have mortgages on them, because if there was a mortgage companies are pretty savvy and they know they need to make sure those real estate taxes are paid, because if the taxes don't get paid, the mortgage is no longer a lien on that real estate once it's sold at tax sale. So they're pretty savvy. They keep up on things. So most likely it's the former owner that is the one that can claim the money, but the former owners don't claim the money. Now, why don't they claim the money? Because they don't know it exists. They have no idea that if their property is sold at a foreclosure auction, that there could be any money for them. They don't know that, because they just think, oh, they sold my house, so they keep the money, and they kind of stare at their shoes and shuffle off into life, you know, depressed, distressed, and trying to figure out how to get restarted. They don't think on a more sophisticated level, which you're going to think this way in a moment. What happens? So they collected all this money at the sale, but how should that money be divided up? Should the taxing authority get its tax money? Sure. Should they get the cost of doing the sale? Yes. But should they get all the money that's left over above the taxes? No. Matter of fact, the U.S. Supreme Court, in a 9-0 decision in 2023, said that no, when there's money left over, the former owner has to have some opportunity to claim it, because it really is equity. It's not the government's money. The government keeps the money it's owed, but that's it. But that being said, there is a qualifier. You have to apply for the money. And if people don't know they're owed any money, then they can't apply for it. They wouldn't even know that there was an application to do. They wouldn't have the right form. They wouldn't pursue it. So typically the money is lost. And I'll give you the statistics. So the state of Maryland is a state that does these, like most states. They compile statewide statistics every year. And in their report for every fiscal year, it's virtually the same number, 72% of the money never gets claimed. 72% of the money collected at those sales, that's excess funds or overages, just gets kept by the state. And it's because people don't know, so they don't apply. And so the overages business is where you get the lists of people that are owed money. Exactly, it gives you the name of the person, typically the address of the property, and how much money is left over. That's called overages or excess funds or overbids are the names that money goes under. And in the business, we then look up the contact information for that person. We then reach out to them. We can call them. We can email them, we can text them, send them LinkedIn messages, we can send them physical mail. Obviously, there's some legal ramifications around that. You can't just text people randomly for a business thing, but we teach you all that in a course that we offer. But anyway, just think generically, we contact the people, let them know the good news that there's some money that they qualify to claim. We're not telling them where the money is. That's not our job. Our job is to see if they want to work with us, where we go get the money. And then if they want to work with us, for a percentage, we go and pursue the money. Usually we're successful. Sometimes we're not. Sometimes a mortgage company shows up or there's some other issue. But if and when we get the money, then we divvy it up. They get a percentage, we get a percentage, and we go on with life. It makes this really wonderful business. It's a wonderful business from my point of view because you help people who've lost so much. They've lost the roof over their heads. It's so painful. It's just crushing for them. They've lost that. We help them, and we make great money because we provide a great service. It's a really wonderful service. I love it. I can tell you the challenge because you may say, well, what's the challenge? It sounds so easy. So the challenge is the people. It's just convincing them this is a real opportunity. And I'll just tell you the real secret. Some people will, some people won't. You can't control that. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. So everybody we call does not sign up with us. That's just the way that it is. And the same thing when you get into this business, everybody you talk to is not going to sign up. But enough people do that you can have a wonderful business where you can make great money, really help people in a material way, and have just a really good ongoing business. This is also not a business that's not going to get replaced by AI or anything like that, because the core of this business is not the research, it's not the technical. The core is reaching out to and connecting with another human. And that's a human-to-human skill. That's not a computer AI-based skill. That's a human-to-human skill. So I love this business. I'm not worried about AI. AI is making my life easier. It's making the research and things like that simpler. But AI is not the one that's going to reach out and make a human connection with a person and say, look, I can help you. Hire our firm and we will help you and we'll hopefully get you some money. That is the connection. So that's the business. It's a really great business. If you want to know more about it, I have two resources for you. One, I have a short, probably 10-minute long video that talks about the Overages business, really gets into some of the details. The goal of that short video, which is on YouTube, you can see the link up there or down below. The goal of that is simply to let you know if this is a business that's right for you. Because I think at this stage, that's what you should be wondering, like, is this something I could do? Do I have the skills? Do I have the temperament? Can I do this? So that 10-minute video is that. And then after that, if you like that, I have a longer, like 90-minute video where I really go into the details and help you assess, all right, do I want to do this? And if you see the 90-minute video, the chances are everybody sees it. It's like, oh, I want to do this. This is a great business. I help people and make money. It doesn't cost a lot of money to start, and I'm really making a difference. This is an amazing business. It's great that way. You'll probably want to do it like everybody else does. But also tell you, this business is not overly crowded with people. There are literally thousands and thousands of foreclosures each and every day, many of which produce big overages, especially since housing values have gone up so much. We're getting bigger and bigger overages. And most of the money is never getting claimed. Like I said, State of Maryland study, every year it's about the same number, 72% unclaimed every year. That's the opportunity. So, I know occasionally I'll see people say, oh, it's too competitive. I'm like, you're smoking crack. This is not too competitive at all. Because I know when we call people, they typically have never heard from us or anybody else. The few people that have heard from someone still haven't signed up with anybody. So it's not competition that's going to bother you in this business. What will bother you in this business if you don't do it? And the core of the business is reaching out to people, getting them on board with going and claiming the money, and then going and doing it. So I think it's one of the simpler businesses, definitely a low-cost business start, definitely something to check out. So your next two steps. Step one, go watch the 10-minute video that's going to get you a little more in-depth overview. And then if you like that, just click there. There'll be an opportunity for you to go to the 90-minute video where we really get into the details. And then your question for you is this something that fits my temperament? Is this something that I really feel would be good and I'm really drawn towards? If it is, then go and do it. If it's not, then you'll have learned something new. You'll spend some interesting time and you go off and you'll be off hopefully to your next opportunity, your next adventure of life. So this is Attorney Bob Diamond. I hope that you continue to succeed, continue to prosper, and I hope Overages turns out to be the great business that you're looking for.